Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, making a video that is going to be more on the recreational side of things. Comparing some guns, as you can tell from the title. This is pretty highly requested. I have two PSA JAKLs and two SCARs, different iterations that can compete against themselves. And I already realized that this video might just be a losing recipe no matter what, because I don't know if there's actually people watching that are actually cross-shopping these two guns. I think it's just going to be SCAR people wanting validation or just JAKL people wanting validation. So we're probably just going to upset everyone or make everyone happy. I don't know. But I own all of them with no biasy. Got a SCAR 17S and a JAKL 10 in 308. And then on the other end of the comparison, we have got the JAKL 15 or the 5.56 version, and my SBR SCAR 16S. It's not gonna be a full-on accuracy report and all that kind of stuff. I'll give you my impressions of things I've picked up on with them, but really I just kind of want to shoot around, mostly close range, dump some mags, all that good stuff, and just get an overall feel of what to expect. So again, the ones I have out here today are the 16S and the 17S, but I'll go ahead and talk about all the offerings as well as the MSRPs. Big difference right away from FN and PSA is just the way that they sell them. FN being a manufacturer that goes to retailers. They obviously seek government contracts and stuff like that, versus Palmetto State Armory is like direct to consumer. You just buy them on their website. Talking about the actual guns themselves and all their offerings, smallest one, it starts with the SCAR 15P or pistol. That's the smallest SCAR you could get. I believe that is only offered in 5.56 and 300 blackout. Moving up from there is the SCAR 16, and that's 5.56 only. SCAR 17S, I believe, is only in 7.62 by 51. And then the biggest one's gonna be the SCAR 20S, offered in that same 7.62 by 51 or 6.5 Creedmoor. PSA came out and did something that I would say is fair to say it's comparable at a much cheaper price point. But the offerings are, as of now anyway, they just expand on it. They actually have a JAKL 9, so 9mm. I'm planning on getting my hands on that pretty soon to compare. So, you know, a little PDW style of a gun. But they also have the 15, like I mentioned, different barrel lengths. You can get them as just complete guns, complete uppers, whatever. Those are offered in 5.56 and 300 blackout. And then above that is the JAKL 10, and that is just 7.62 by 51 or 308. I think they just label it as 308 actually. So quite a bit of savings once you go JAKL. Big thing to know about them is the SCAR got developed to be its own cohesive thing from the ground up. It really doesn't share much with an AR-15. I don't know if you want to call that a pro or con. It's a cohesive thing. It's very cool. But in the sense of the JAKL, you really don't need to get the whole complete gun, but the price point, you know, makes sense to do that anyway. But the big difference is it actually just uses an AR-15 lower. You need to change your bolt catch and your end plate to take a folding stock if you want. I think that's it, just those two components, and you could just be running your AR lower. That is cool, but really the AR lowers aren't that expensive anyway, so no, why not just get the complete gun? Unless you just have a lower you're sitting on, then fantastic. That being said though, it is the ergonomics that you know and expect from an AR-15 as far as the lower. So out of the box for a complete gun, it's not really ambi. You can obviously put different triggers in there from ARs. You don't have to seek a gouged price of, you know, the Geisley Super SCAR triggers or nothing like that. Awesome triggers. I do have them fitted with them, but, you know, they get up there. Versus just AR triggers. Out of the box, like I said, no ambi selector, but you can change that out. No ambi mag release, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's an AR-15 from the lower's concern, so familiarity is up there. But something that has always been a gripe to people who like SCARs. I couldn't believe this to be true. I kept looking up and everything tells me it is true, but you void your warranty once you suppress them. Versus PSA encourages it. Both adjustable gas systems, out of the box you get 2 adjustments on the SCAR, and then with the JAKL, I don't know, it's multiple positions, 8 positions. My SCARs are slightly older, a couple years old now, or a few years old, and so they have reciprocating charging handles. As someone like myself who's out here just shooting recreationally, I don't mind. It's like seeing some really cool moving mechanical things. I don't mind at all. But functionally, probably best to have that not moving back and forth, because you could jam that up and get into the way of the cycling of the gun. But the new SCARs don't have a reciprocating charging handle, or if you have old SCARs, you want to change it, you can, but the new bolt is just so expensive. All the JAKLs don't have reciprocating charging handles. Because the lower and everything is proprietary to the SCAR, it doesn't use AR-10 mags. Oddly enough though, the SCAR 16 thankfully does use AR-15 mags, but the SCAR 17, SCAR 20, they don't. They use SCAR mags. There's other aftermarket lower receivers out there that do allow to use AR-10 mags. The JAKL is all AR-10, even though this one looks a little different. It's a Lancer mag. I got a metal AR-10 mag. I got a P-mag AR-10 mag, and it seems to work well with all of them. That's about it for the notes I want to say. Now we'll kind of just get into the micro review and just shoot them around a little bit. Lastly, though, I will say just this is my particular case with the way I set them up. It may not totally apply to you guys. In the case of these two guns, the JAKL 10 and the SCAR 17, semi-auto, larger bore, you know, 7.62 by 51. Really cool applications if you want to, you know, go hog hunting or or whatever else. And so anything with a monolithic rail like this, LPVO on the AR-10, I really think it's cool to put a clip on it as well. I've been showing this a lot. This is a DNT Hydra, so you could turn your LPVO into a thermal scope with this thermal optic. The way it turned out with this particular setup, I have a Vortex 1 to 10, and I love this optic, but the way I set it up for my eye relief with the stock position the way I want, I am just out of luck. I really cannot mount that here. The rail just doesn't extend as long as I need it to. It has a flip-up sight up here in an interesting spot. Very iconic to the Scar, but yeah, if I wanted to put this clip on that I've really been liking lately on this setup, I just can't. Versus the JAKL's got plenty of room, and so I can't do that. Maybe we'll do that later into this video just to showcase that, because it's got some internal recording. But cool unit. I made a full video on that not too long ago if you want to check that out. But that's what I picked up on. Let's go ahead and start off with the JAKL 15. I've showcased this before, and I really like this, especially for the money. And it came with a pinion welded Hux device on there as well. Let's do 5 rounds unsuppressed real quickly. And I don't know if I have it on the right gas setting, so we're about to find that out as well, just kind of real time, showing you how to go through this. I already mentioned AR-15 lower, so not much to get into there. This one itself comes with this folding stock. It's very ACR-like with the different, length of pull, comb height, and all that good stuff. I got it on the lower setting, and that works out for me with my Arken EP8 1:8 with the Arken mount. Really cool optic for the money as well. And code Texas Plinking saves you quite a bit of money if you guys want one. Link in the description. 5 rounds unsuppressed, and I don't know, last time I shot this, it might have been tuned for suppression, so if it gunks up, be easy on it. Might have just not tuned it right. And we're gonna go ahead into adjusting the gas settings. Unsuppressed. That recoil impulse seems very stout and confident, so I think it's tuned just fine for unsuppressed. So let's go ahead and just dump this. Lock back and all. Very nice. I'm probably gonna have to tune that down a little bit for suppression. For suppressor, I got my OSS, now their Hux works. This is the HX556 Ti. Now that that's on there, I'm thinking it's gonna be cycling fine. It's just gonna be more pressure than it needs. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tuning it down if I remember which direction to go. Right away, that feels really nice. I wouldn't have to tune it, but I know I've shot this before and it does have the capability of shooting quite a bit nicer. I think I tuned it this way once. I don't know if that really felt much different. If anything, harsher, so I'll go the other way. 1, 2 clicks that way. That's a little softer. Let's go some more until it just doesn't cycle. And another. Okay, there's no way that cycled right. Yeah, okay. That's a spent casing. Let's go ahead and bring it the other way. All right, that's the happy setting. And you have so many adjustment points you could get it tuned for your particular can. This being a flow-through suppressor, took a little bit, but I found that if I wanted to run it just a little bit more in adverse settings, I'll click it another one. All right, and unlike me, you're not on PSA's payroll, so you can be honest. What do you think about it?
It's super good. No, it's pretty soft shooting. I thought it was solid. It felt good.
It's actually the first PSA I'll ever shoot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ever shoot? Like you won't shoot another one?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, good answer.
That's light. That's pretty soft shooting. Like it. It's not bad at all.
Little dump there. Yeah, in this particular case, the way I got it tuned, this flow-through suppressor works really nicely. And that little dump, still not over gas or nothing like that. The only nitpicks I will say is over time, it's not lightweight by any means, and the weight is kind of more on the forward side of things. Other than that, just a couple rounds as we did, gets a little warm up here. So that's why I put this here, even though I end up gripping like this anyway. Gets kind of toasty here over by the gas system, and that's about it. They're a lot of fun to shoot for sure. And as this one goes, never has gunked up on me, which is nice. Just a matter of tuning the gas system. All right, moving on to the 16S. The 16S is already so expensive, and then later on, I seeked a factory 10-inch barrel from FN. The price of the barrel alone, and it's not just a barrel, it comes with the whole assembly for the gas and everything, but that accessory alone is the price of that JAKL we just shot. Load this one up here, unsuppressed, and I put it in the mode with the most back pressure, and I changed some things on top of that. I have a 3-position adjustable selector and a different gas jet as well. But let's go unsuppressed. I got it in the most pressured setting, so it should cycle. That feels confident. I don't think that's ever really gonna gunk up. Let's go ahead and spit this one out real quick. Yeah, that feels confidence in the cycling. So let's go ahead and put suppressor on there and back the pressure down and see how it shoots. We're gonna go ahead and just to get to know it, not adjust the gas initially. It'll probably be kind of snappy. And it was not. Yeah, it's actually really, really soft shooting, but I think we could get it even softer. So 3 positions, put it in the middle. And that feels so soft, but honestly, almost too soft to where I can't fire them off too quickly. And I don't know if it's gonna gunk up, but we'll find out. Yeah, that started slowing down a bit. Let's go ahead and go all the way to the end and see what happens. Well, it locked back. This is one of those things, it's like too soft, too good to be true, but I don't know how good it is because I can't even fire them off too quickly, but as a recreational thing, it's really cool. If you want to shoot them a little quicker though, go to this gas system, or gas setting, the one with the most back pressure, the one I was doing unsuppressed, but super soft, way softer than the JAKL. I just don't know if in those settings it'll cycle reliably, so that's something I'm gonna have to figure out more long term, but let's see what they think about it. If you, yeah, that should be even less gas, but I can't notice a difference with those two. Doesn't move at all.
It's definitely slow. It's a lot
very
slower. Like you can't, you can't shoot it really fast. Overall, a lot lighter than the PSA.
Yeah.
The PSA is definitely front heavy.
Yeah, chopping off 4.5 inches of barrel help a little bit as well. Maybe it's a thinner profile. All right, Clint's gonna get some impressions. We put it in the most back pressure setting to where this is what I was doing unsuppressed as well, so we can start here.
All
right. Yeah, you can just tell it's faster.
Cycle well. Definitely lighter.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoots flat.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of feeling a little lazier and I don't know if anyone's really gonna get much out of me shooting them unsuppressed, so let's just go straight to the cool factor. I'm only gonna shoot the other 2 rifles suppressed. Again, this is a JAKL 10 in 308. This one's a 14.5 inch barrel, also pinion weld for a OSS suppressor. Seems like it recoils pretty stout. Let's see what that feels like. I'm gonna go into the dirt just to get like a sound report. I don't know if I really changed much there. All right, I moved it a lot there, so we'll find out. Quite a bit softer, still cycling. We'll go until it just doesn't feed. And that's about right there. Spent casing didn't even come out. I think it's about as soft as it's gonna get. I was about a mag dump and I had one left. That feels pretty nice. And just because I said I'd showcase thermal clip-on on there, not the best conditions because it's a pretty warm day. The targets are pretty warm, so not the best color contrast, but you know, enough to prove the point. Pull that one. Really, really cool package there for some night hunting for sure.
I suck at 100.
Oh,
Wailing on it, pretty good. All right, well, quick conclusion on the JAKL 10. I have shot this once before off camera with a different purpose. I was trying to zero it at 100 yards, and funny enough, I was shooting some really, really good ammo too, some 168s here, Match King from Federal. And I didn't know what my expectations were with it, accuracy-wise. I was hoping, obviously, if it did 1 MOA, it'd be like the best thing to ever come out. But realistically, I'm like, oh, if it could hold like 1.5 to 2 MOA, I'd be pretty happy with that. And for my one outing with it, with some really nice ammo, it just wasn't doing that. It was well over 3. So with that said, I'm like, once it's over 3 MOA, I'm just gonna repurpose it and 14.5 inch. I'm just gonna shoot at close range, some night hunting, stuff like that, or blasting around at the range. But then other people have had really good reports with it at 1.5 MOA. My buddy Zach at Mountains Mults America, I don't think he was quite at 1, but I think 1.5 to 2-ish or so with more than 5 round groups. I have to go back and see his video, but he was having much better luck than me. Not the most accurate for a tack driving long range rifle, but you know what? For a, again, 14.5 inch semi-auto 308, maybe you don't task it for that purpose and you want to blast around here and hunt with it like I keep saying. So that being said, at the price point, it hasn't failed me once you tune the gas system the way it's supposed to be. So really hard to complain about this gun as it goes right now. It's a musket compared to everything else just because this is the only one that's not shorter than a standard length. This one's 16.25 inch, and I have the AAC SDN6 suppressor on there, so total musket here now. And I have it on the suppress setting. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. And that seems pretty sharp, and I know I put it on the right gas setting. Just double check. Oh yeah, that's way harsher. Okay. Go over to 100. Okay, so my conclusion with that, little gassier. It's also not a flow-through suppressor, to be fair. A little snappier, which is weird because it has a longer barrel. But it's not weird because I know how these work now that I've modified the 16S. I'm probably going to get a 3-position adjustable for this as well with a different gas jet, do some tuning with that. Maybe commit to a different suppressor as well, maybe a flow-through. And that'll get this thing behaving a little bit more. So conclusion with that is scars may feel more superior, but it takes more money and time to get them set up. Not just purchase price initially, but to set them up the way you really want to if you're running it suppressed. Yeah, a little bit harsher actually, funny enough. I didn't expect that. But that's not a loss for the Scar because again, if money's no object, you can modify them to probably be a superior shooting impulse than the JAKL. But then again, that kind of highlights the JAKL for the price point, what they're able to offer. And I will say from experience and from what I know of, these things should be coherently a little bit more accurate as well. Maybe 1 MOA, but 1.5 is a pretty fair assessment of 17s, and then the 20s are a whole different animal as well.
Definitely has a lot more kick.
Just a little pop to it, right?
Without without adjusting the gas like you did on the 16.
A couple out of 100.
Not bad.
Yeah, so it's definitely got more of a punch to it.
For the price point, if you want an AR-15 alternative, you're sad that the ACR is out of production and the Scar's a little too expensive, you don't want to avoid a warranty by putting a suppressor on there, the JAKL is pretty cool. So far with this one, haven't had any issues with them, no RMA or nothing like that, and that's nice. And the round count's not crazy high, it's probably like, I don't know, 2,000 or just a tick less than that, all suppressed for the most part as well, and I've been liking it a lot. Little front heavy, especially once you put a can on there, but ultimately not too bad. I think that's mostly down to the profile of the barrel, a little bit thicker, I think, than a Scar. It does get a little toasty up front though. It is a hot day, but still, even compared to the Scar 16, it did get a little toastier. Amazing flat recoil impulse on that when you get the gas, adjusted just right, and that's the gas system out of the factory. The Scar 16 is superior to that feeling, but man, it took a little bit of work. The 3-position adjustable piece and the gas jet, pretty easy stuff to install there, but just a little bit more fine tuning you're going to do for your load and your suppressor. But once you do, if money's no object, you want to wait and get style points, I will say Scar, pretty badass. It does feel that little bit better, I will say. But is it worth it to go all that much more into it for how much I have into this? Leave it up to you. Same's true, but just on a bigger scale with the big stuff here. The benefits, of course, being that, using AR-10 mags and not the proprietary stuff. The funny thing is these rifles go for well over $3,000, and when they're fully tricked out, there's really not much Scar left. They got an ACR stock, they got a different lower to run AR mags, and they changed the gas system to where it's some other people's gas stuff anyway because it's superior. So it's kind of funny. But once you do all that, is it worth it? I still argue yes, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy a JAKL if you want to justify just spending $1,500 on a big piston .308 AR alternative type of rifle. So there's that. I guess everyone wins. They're all pretty cool, but I just thought I'd kind of put it in video form so you guys can kind of see for yourself. But that just about does it. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.